Welcome back to the channel, Ms. Old Coins everyone. It is truly a fantastic day to be alive, and an even better day to talk about the hidden treasures that might be hiding in plain sight, just waiting for the right person to come along and recognize their true worth. First up, we are shining the spotlight on a fascinating piece of American history, the 1979 SusanBAnthony dollar. This is a coin that almost everyone recognizes, but hardly anyone ever thought to save. It was the United States Mint's ambitious attempt to introduce a smaller, more practical dollar coin to replace the bulky Eisenhower dollar. The idea was simple. Create a coin that was easier to carry than the large Eisenhower dollars, but more efficient to use in vending machines than the paper dollar bill. The design featured the portrait of SusanBAnthony, a true American hero and a pioneer in the women's suffrage movement, making her the first real woman to be depicted on a United States circulating coin. It was a momentous occasion, a step forward in recognizing the contributions of women to our nation's fabric, and yet, the coin itself faced an uphill battle from the very moment it was released. The story of why this coin was made is a tale of good intentions meeting the harsh reality of public perception. The late 1970s was a time of high inflation, and the government believed that replacing the dollar bill with a coin would save millions of dollars in printing costs over the long run, as coins last much longer than paper money. The Treasury Department pushed hard for the new dollar, hoping it would become as popular as the quarter or the dime. They chose SusanBAnthony to honor her legacy and to give the coin a sense of national pride and importance. The design itself was the work of chief engraver Frank Gasparo, who also designed the beloved Lincoln Memorial cent reverse. He created a powerful portrait of Anthony looking to the future, symbolizing her relentless fight for equality. It was a beautiful concept, but unfortunately, the execution ran into a major problem. The public, however, had a completely different reaction. When people first got their hands on the new 1979 SusanBAnthony dollar, they were confused. The coin was close in size, color, and weight to the quarter, leading to constant mistakes at cash registers and in vending machines. People would accidentally spend $1 when they meant to spend a quarter, or they'd receive one in change and think they'd been shortchanged. This confusion bred contempt. The public rejected it almost immediately, nicknaming it the Carter Quarter due to its size and the president in office at the time. The media panned it, and the public hoarding of the coin began, but not because they thought it was valuable. They were just tired of dealing with it. The minting continued from 1979 to 1981, and then again briefly in 1999, but the damage was done. The SusanBAnthony dollar was deemed a failure, and millions of them ended up sitting in government vaults for years, a monument to a well-intentioned but poorly executed idea. Now, this is where the story gets incredibly exciting for us, the treasure hunters. Because the coin was such a failure, almost nobody thought to save them in pristine condition. People used them, got annoyed by them, and ultimately, they just became another part of the nation's spare change. But here is the golden rule of coin collecting. Rarity and condition are everything. And buried within those millions of worthless SusanBAnthony dollars are specific varieties that are not only rare, but are incredibly valuable. It's not that the entire run of the coin is valuable. It's that within that run, the mint made some critical errors that created modern-day treasures. This is what separates a casual observer from a savvy collector who knows exactly what to look for. You have been given a second chance at a coin that history has forgotten, and that is where the true potential lies. So, let's talk about the mint mark, as you specifically asked. The 1979 SusanBAnthony dollars were minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, which had no mint mark, Denver, with a D mint mark, and San Francisco, with an S mint mark. The San Francisco Mint produced both business strike coins for circulation and proof coins for collectors. For the most part, the Philadelphia and Denver coins are common and worth only their face value of $1 if they are worn. However, the San Francisco Mint is where the magic and the money happens. In 1979, the San Francisco Mint made a subtle but hugely important change to the mint mark on the proof coins. Early in the production run, they used a mint mark that looked like a normal, blocky letter S. But later that year, they switched to a new mint mark that was much clearer and more distinct, which collectors now call the filled S and the clear S. This is the crux of the value for the 1979 issue. The filled S-proof coins are the more common variety, where the mint mark looks like a blob or a filled-in letter. They are beautiful coins, but they are not the jackpot. The coin you absolutely need to be looking for is the 1979 SusanBAnthony dollar with the clear S mint mark, often abbreviated as the 1979 S-Type 2. On this coin, the mint mark is sharp and well-defined, with a clear opening in the center of the S. This variety is significantly rarer than its filled counterpart because it was produced for a much shorter period of time before the mint realized the dies were wearing out and changed them. The mint didn't announce they were doing this. It was just a normal part of the die manufacturing process that later became a massive discovery for collectors. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for, the value. How much is it really worth? Is it truly valuable, or is it just internet hype? I am here to tell you, with absolute certainty, that it is genuinely valuable. We aren't talking about pocket change here. We are talking about serious money that can make a huge difference in your life. The value all comes down to the condition of the coin and, most importantly, that mint mark. A common, worn-out 1979 P or D dollar is still just a dollar, spend it on a soda. But a pristine, high-grade example of the 1979 S-Type 2 is a completely different beast. These coins were proofs, meaning they were struck on specially polished planchets with polished dies to create a mirror-like finish. Finding one in its original condition, with no marks or haze, is the goal. For a standard 1979 S-Type 2 proof that has been handled and might have some light marks, you are still looking at a value well above $1. These can easily sell for $50 to $100, which is a fantastic return on a coin you might find in an old collection or a roll from the bank. But when you start talking about coins that have been professionally graded and certified as being in perfect condition, the prices go through the roof. We are talking about coins that have deep, reflective mirrors and sharp, untouched details. The highest graded examples of this coin are incredibly scarce, and collectors are willing to pay a king's ransom to own the very best. I want you to understand the scale of the value we are discussing. The maximum price for the very finest known 1979 SusanBAnthony dollar with the clear S mint mark is not in the hundreds of dollars, and it's not even in the low thousands. At a major auction, a perfect, gem-quality example of this coin has the potential to fetch a price that will absolutely stun you. We are talking about a five-figure sum for a single coin. The maximum value, the absolute peak price for the finest known specimen in existence, can reach an incredible $15,000. Imagine finding that in your grandma's old coin jar, or in a roll of dollars you got from the bank. That is the kind of life-changing money that is hiding in plain sight, and it all hinges on knowing one tiny detail: the difference between a filled S and a clear S. Think about the magnitude of that number. $15,000 for a coin that was once considered a national joke. $15,000 for a piece of metal that millions of people have spent without a second thought. This is why coin collecting is such a thrilling hobby. It rewards knowledge, patience, and a sharp eye. It turns a mundane trip to the bank into a potential treasure hunt. The coin's history as a failure is exactly what created the opportunity for us today. Because nobody saved them, the ones in pristine condition are now incredibly rare and sought after by the most dedicated collectors in the world. So, is the 1979 SusanBAnthony dollar really that valuable? For the vast majority, no. But for a select few who possess the knowledge to identify the rare variety and the good fortune to find one in impeccable condition, it is one of the most valuable modern coins you can possibly own. It is a testament to the idea that you should never judge a book by its cover, or in this case, a coin by its unpopularity. The history of why it was made, to honor a great American and modernize our currency, is fascinating, but the real story is the hidden value that was created by a simple mint mark change and years of public neglect. This is your call to action. Don't just watch this video and forget about it. The next time you see a SusanBAnthony dollar, whether it's in your change, at a yard sale, or in a family member's collection, you need to stop and look at it. You need to pull out a magnifying glass or even just take a clear picture with your phone and zoom in on that mint mark. You are looking for that crisp, clear S. If you find it, and if the coin looks like it's in brilliant, untouched condition, you could be holding a ticket to a major payday.